On today's video, I'm going to go over my predictions for the 2023 summer real estate market here in Toronto. Guys, I got a notepad out for this one. I've been taking notes, looking at the numbers. This video is going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate you being back here on the channel. My name is Tom Storey. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. We continue to get so close to 10,000 subscribers, and yeah, it's just going to be cool when we reach it. And I appreciate you being here, being part of this community. If you watch this video and afterwards you think to yourself, hey, I want to talk to that guy about my real estate needs, well, you're in luck. You can go into the first link in the description and book a buyer call, a seller call, or a discovery call with me at a time that works for you. I also realized that I haven't been talking a lot about the podcast on the main channel recently, but the podcast continues to take off. Some of those videos perform better than the videos on this channel, which is just so cool to see. We've passed 2,000 subscribers on that channel. We've had some very major guests come on. The most recent was Ravi Kalan, who's the housing minister of BC. If you like more long form style content, make sure to check out that channel. I'll put the link below. So we're going to break this video down into 4 categories. The first thing we're going to talk about is my prediction on prices. The second thing is my prediction on what Bank of Canada is going to do in July. My third prediction, we're going to look over the sales numbers. And then prediction number 4, we're going to talk about where I think total inventory is going to be as we go through the summer market. I also want to make sure this video is interactive. So let me know in the comments how you think the summer market is going to perform. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, it's all good. Let's hang out down there and have a discussion. Okay, let's start with everybody's favorite topic, which is prices, right? What are prices going to do heading into the summer? I still believe from the numbers that I've seen that the peak of the market has likely already happened here in 2023, and it's going to be May. Now, I understand that's not really a bold statement, but when rate hikes happen, you typically see markets pause for a little bit because the consumer confidence, and then sometimes you see prices drop off. And listen, we just went through this in 2022, so we know how this works. My prediction on prices is that prices in July and August go back to kind of what they were in February and the first half of March of 2023. I don't think on a macro level overall for average sale price or median sale price that we're going to see prices that are going to rival what we saw in May or in June. I do think they're going to be slower. So I do think we're going to see a drop off in average sale price from what we saw in May. I think if you were waiting for the best time to list, I do think you missed it. I think it was May this year, at least so far, depending on what Bank of Canada does. So let's go over prediction number 2. What is Bank of Canada going to do? As I've learned my lesson making these YouTube videos is whenever I think Bank of Canada is going to do something or not do something, I am usually wrong. So let's just give this one more shot and see how this goes. Yeah, I do think in July they're going to go up another 25 points. I think they want to get the overnight rate to 5%. I think that's been TIF's plan all along. They just didn't know exactly how it was going to happen. There is an inflation report that is coming out, but it's going to come out after that potential hike. But what I've been told is that they have access to that information long before the public does. So they'll know exactly what they're going to do. I think that's going to be that final rate hike. And again, I know some people think we're going to 10%. I don't think it's going to happen. I personally think that if actual rates, not Bank of Canada rates, because that's the rate in which the bank is borrowing the money, but for us, for consumers, I think if variable rates or fixed rates touch like 8%, we're in big trouble. Like, I really do believe that. And I also believe that Bank of Canada knows that. And not to say that they don't want to crash the market or anything like that. You can have your discussions in the comments about that. But I think they're going to be done at 5. Then they're going to hold tight for a period of time. And then the decreases that we will see might happen at some point next year. But when they're going to happen, I got no idea. Prediction number 3 is how many sales are going to happen in the Greater Toronto area. So what I did is I looked back to 2018 and 2019. And the reason that I did that is because 2020 was a weird year. When this all happened, we know what was happening in the world. 2021 was legitimate craziness the entire year. So it didn't matter what month you bought in because the market was insane for 12 months in a row. And then 2022 started hot for 2.5, 3 months, and then completely dropped off. It was the other end of the roller coaster. So we've had 3 years in a row where the market just hasn't been behaving like a normal real estate market here in Toronto. Now, to give you some context, last year in the summer, in July in 2022, we had just under 5,000 transactions. That is historically low. That is very, very low. And then in August, we had like 5,500. So I don't think we're going to be that low in transactions this year, even if Bank of Canada does go up 25 points in July. I think our sales numbers are going to be in the 7,000 range for July. That's my July prediction. Now, to give you some context on that, I told you I borrowed the notepad for this video. We're going old school here. In 2019, in July, in a normal market, but there wasn't major rate hikes happening then in either direction, there was 8,500 sales. In August, there was 7,700 sales. So I don't think we're going to be as robust as we were in 2019 in terms of total sales volume, but I think we're going to hover around 7,000 in July. If you look at then 2018, we had 7,000 and just under 7,000 in August. So I think 2023 summer numbers are going to look pretty similar to what they did in 2018. And that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because do you remember 2017 in Toronto? Well, we had a crazy first 4 months where we saw 25% price appreciation, and then we totally dropped off, and people thought it was never going to come back, and it did come back pretty quickly. So this is the year after. This is the hangover year of all the craziness, right? So I think we're going to perform pretty close to 2018 in terms of the numbers. My prediction, July, 7,000 sales. August, 6,500. Prediction number 4 is talking about inventory levels and months of inventory. I do think Toronto has a housing problem. They have an inventory issue in Toronto. I don't think all of Canada does, but I do think Toronto absolutely does if you just look at the numbers. The supply demand just doesn't add up. So what's going to happen? Because we have seen new listings come to the market at a pace that is higher than it was before. But it's not just that that's actually going to change the inventory. So at the end of June, we had about 2.5 months of inventory in the city. My prediction for the summer is that number gets to 3.5 months of inventory. But I don't actually think it's going to be because we have all this new inventory coming to the market. I think it's going to be the lagging inventory, the rollover inventory, because properties are not selling at the rate they were before. They're taking a little bit longer now, and they're rolling over to the next month. And I think it's going to kind of pile up there, especially in August. Now, that does create opportunity if you are a buyer with a long-term perspective and you're thinking about getting into the market. I think there will be deals with quotations, because I know that's subjective to people, but there will be opportunity, especially in the second half of August, that probably won't be there for the rest of the year, unless Bank of Canada keeps going up and surprises everybody. So there you go. There's my 4 predictions. Prices, sales numbers, inventory, and what Bank of Canada is going to do next. I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Tom Storey, and remember, home is where your story begins.